been posting on this, and I like Elon Musk, okay? I think that he's not really him. And, he's part of the Galactic Council of Light, is part of the New Earth, it's part of a lot of different things. I mean, how could he have been a billionaire and all that corruption and been, But besides that, and the free speech and all that, and cleaning up government stuff, what he's doing with Trump, like, I followed, all of the spiritual stuff. I followed the Nasara stuff, all the different channels, all the different stuff for, the last decade. And I can see that it's happening now, and that's beautiful. There is something that I noticed that I've been talking about on X that is a little bit odd. Elon Musk I think he has like 10 kids, right, or more, by 10 different mothers. Now, he's at Mar-a-Lago, he's at events, he's in photographs with world leaders with a baby on his hip. He brings his kids to different functions. Now, again, I like Elon, but if a woman did that, that wouldn't be acceptable. Women are told to leave their kids at home. I mean, if you bring your kid to a function or a dinner, okay. But to have your child on your hip while you're taking a photo with a world leader, Elon gets that privilege because he's a billionaire and he's eccentric and okay. And if a woman brought a different kid to every function by a different father, they would be called all kinds of names and treated with disrespect. But a dad bringing a kid, never a mother there, a different kid pretty much every time, having the kid right on his hip in photos with world leaders, it's acceptable. And here we are in 2024, and it's still not acceptable for women. So, there'll be women that'll be at these different political events, and you'll see them in photos, and you'll see them sometimes with their kids at the event, like if it's a dinner or a thing. But just like a meeting with a world leader, and it just really strikes me how Elon Musk can carry a baby around, take a child to, conventions and functions and official meetings, and that's just so awesome. And I think it is awesome. And I think fathers and mothers should do this. But the stigma, like we've all of a sudden bypassed, right? A lot of things have been bypassed, like we'll talk about it another time, but like rights for, don't go there, Crystal. Okay, I'm not going to go into that topic. I like the way that women like carried their babies on them, wrap them, and they do their gardening, or they do different functions or festivals or going around. I like the idea of that. I never had kids, but I love the idea of them constantly bonding and imprinting, with their child. I think it's important. And men, traditionally men would be kind of hands off with children. And so nowadays men do spend a lot of time. It's different roles, but, we never got to the stage where it was normal for women to have their child at work or to bring a different child to every function from a different father. They're looked at as promiscuous. They're looked at as, you really should keep your kid at home. You should be home taking care of your kid. You should, right? And to never, ever bring a father and just be a single mom. I just find it kind of an interesting thing that is being promoted with him being, single father, 10 kids, 10 different baby mamas, bringing children to diplomatic functions, holding them on his hip. They're there in photos, and that's acceptable because he's a billionaire? Because he's the man instead of the woman? It's still not acceptable for women in any part of society to be in a photo with world leaders and the president-elect or the president with a baby on their hip. Yeah, if they're a member of the crowd or the public, but not as part of their administration, as part of what they're doing. It's not acceptable for a woman to carry around a baby, especially a different baby every week at a different event from a different partner. But it's acceptable for Elon. So it's cool in a way because he's kind of normalizing that, but he's normalizing it for men and claiming at the same time to be standing up for women's rights. Well, it's not his thing. He's just being himself. it's just a society thing I'm pointing out. I think it's neat that he brings his kids to have these experiences. And whatever situation he has with all the different baby mamas, I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I think people should live how they want. And I do not believe in traditional marriage and controllers and one man and one woman, you got to be married up. And, granted, I'm a lesbian, never been in a relationship with a man, never want to be in a relationship with a man. Okay, I digress. The point is, I think you get the point. We've just jumped over single women or married women carrying their kids around right into single men who are like some sort of poly or Mormon, like have a whole bunch of wives, but don't. They're just baby mamas. And they're not called, any sort of promiscuous name, and they're completely accepted. It's just an idea or just something